Yeah, okay. They don't get really much better. I just was like testing to see if you guys are even awake. I've been doing this for like 11 hours now, guys. All right. No. Okay. All right, excellent. Wow, now we're switching gears again. Now we're going to take a look at a startup coming all the way from the Philippines. How awesomely awesome is that? We're getting a really true look at the entire range of Asia here, which is pretty awesome. I was talking to these guys during the break. Pretty interesting concept. They're trying to do kind of a DNS for phone numbers, kind of some interesting innovation. Put your hands together for real. Come on, bring up the energy a little bit for SpellDIal right out of the Philippines, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Albert, and this is my co-founder, Nicole, and we're both from SpellDIal. Now, SpellDIal is what we're trying to build is like the DNS for phone numbers. Now, let's imagine for a while, what if there was no DNS, like the DNS was not invented? Then Google would probably look like this, Amazon's URL would look like that, and Facebook's would probably look like that. Now, can you imagine somebody saying, hey, I checked this site out, it's really cool, it's called Facebook, and you can visit at 66.220.149.18. Check it out. I mean, really stupid, right? However, we see advertisements like this all around with phone numbers. KFC 887-8888. What's this? 770-443-5272. Now, tell me honestly, you see all these advertisements everywhere. Who remembers these numbers? Nobody. Exactly. And yet, that's exactly the reason why, because phone numbers are very hard to remember and very difficult to brand. And that's why vanity numbers like 1-800-COMPANY became very much in demand. In fact, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Now, let me tell you, however, vanity numbers like this have lots of limitations. Like, what if your name was too long? Or what if your name was too short? Or what if your name was perfect for 7 digits, but then it wasn't available? Now let me tell you about McDonald's back in where we come from in the Philippines, in Cebu. They have this hotline, 348 McDoor, MCDO, wherein it's virtually placed everywhere. It comes out on TV, it comes out in the radio, it comes out in ads online. And yet we went out to the streets and asked people if they know the number. They know the ad, they know they do delivery, but only 2%, that's only 2 out of 100 people who've seen the ad that know the number. In fact, they say, oh, I know it, it's something McDo, but something McDo won't get you to McDonald's. Now that's a very, very big problem. Now we have a solution. Businesses, organizations, and even individuals are known by their names. So why not dial names instead? It makes more sense, right? So we did SpellDIal. Now how does it work? It's very simple. You just go to a website, you pick a name, your SpellDIal name, you register your contact information, and now anybody who wants to contact you just picks up their phone. Of course, they have to know your SpellDIal name. You have to give it to them. And they launched the SpellDIal web app. They dial the name there, and automatically gets connected to your phone. Let's do a demo. So here, we have an iPhone that was borrowed from a friend off stage. She doesn't have my contact number. But my SpellDIal, launch your SpellDIal web, please. Now my SpellDIal name is Albert Padid. That's my name. What's my name? Albert Padid. Very good. Now she dialed my name, Albert Padid. She hits dial, and she calls me without my number being in there. Let's wait. All right. Hello? Hello? Thank you, bye-bye. All right. Anyways, so that's SpellDIal. Now, right now we have a web app, but we are currently developing a native iOS and Android app for more functionality like automatic backups of contacts and automatic update of contact information. Now, how do we make money? We have 2 models. First, we have a freemium model, wherein it's free for individuals and most people, but then we charge premium for features like call-based, location-based routing, multiple names, analytics, and what we call SpellDIal actions. Now, another way we make money is we charge. We plan to monetize generic terms like hotel and pizza and restaurant. Like when you call for a hotel, you don't know which specific hotel, you just type in hotel and you could probably get a recommendation from us. That's another way of monetizing it. Now the team, it's me, I'm the CEO and I'm in charge of product development. It's my partner Nicole, she's also in charge of business development. She's also my co-founder. And basically that's it. We're SpellDIal, and as we always tell people, visit SpellDIal.com now and reserve the name you want before somebody else takes it. Thank you.
Does the phone need to have an internet connection before it works?
Yes, sir. Initially, it does. We're working also on a caching model wherein it just needs to connect once, and once it syncs, it just needs to sync occasionally afterwards.
Your last phrase actually points out to a problem. Reserve your name before somebody else takes it. So it's basically a land grab on names. It's similar to domain names, right?
Yeah.
So what happens for me if there's somebody else with the same name as me, then I have to add a 1 or 2 or 3 at the end of it.
Alright, yeah, that's actually true because that's what happened with the domain name system right now. That's your current problem. We have a lot of cyber squatters and all. That's why we had to design it properly. And one of the ways we address that is each country has its own set of SpellDIal names. So SpellDIal names are only unique to a per country basis. So if you're calling somebody else outside, in the Philippines for example, you have to put ph.alpaden to call them alpaden in that area. Now the question with many people having the same names in one country, then of course it's like email address, first come, first served basis. But then of course we will not recommend you to put a 1 or a 2. I mean that we would more recommend to you a little bit more creative, like put Albert, then your middle name Padden, or Albert Padden SpellDIal, something like that.
How do you plan to go about promoting your own service or app? So if I were a brand and if I have to promote both your brand and then just find me on SpellDIal and then that might create even less conversion for me. Or if you don't own a large percentage of the market, then the brands might not want to use your service. So there's a chicken and egg question.
Exactly, that's right, and that's the reason why we're trying to come with a native iPhone app and Android app, so that we provide value to the users right away when they start using it, without the need of having other people to be in the system. So one of the ways we do that is like automatic contact information update of their contacts and automatic backup of the contact. For example, they download the SpellDIal app and they migrate their contacts into that system. And then whatever device they use and they just log in, they can automatically download their contacts into that device. So that's one of the ways we get users without having to wait for other people to come in. And aside from the fact that we entice them by saying, hey, you like your name, right? So go ahead and register in the system before somebody else does. So that's kind of the way we promote it.
What happens if you have multiple numbers?
Okay, that's a feature actually. If you saw a while ago, oh, it's gone. You can actually put an option to put multiple numbers there and it all shows up so the user can actually select. Now one feature we have for business is that if you have multiple numbers, you can actually control what to display or what to give to the user depending on the location. Or currently it's location, but we plan to add things like demographics or even other profiles.
Let's say I was ordering a pizza and I do Domino's, and Domino's registers a number, and of course it's probably down the Domino's in the cut. But how about if I was a Domino's down in the other side of the Philippines? I mean, how does that differentiate which Domino's it should go around to? Right? I mean, if you register Domino's automatically with that number, I mean, you have to still listing information.
I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, but if I understand right, then a user is calling from this location, like for example here, and there are 2 Domino's branches with different numbers.
So basically multiple Domino's.
Or multiple Domino's with multiple numbers, correct? So they only have one domain, and then of course Domino's is owned by the same mother company, so they all list down the numbers. Now they can control which locations or which regions. For example, if I'm calling from here, Domino's can actually say, okay, if the guy's calling from Singpo Center or Paya Lebar, then directly call to this branch. If not, if outside the region, then this other branch.
So it uses geospatial.
Yes, yes.
I think the idea is good, and as we said, phone numbers are retarded. I'm just going to say that. But I really see there's really 2 big problems. That first, the user acquisition to get people to download the apps is really hard. And second is acquiring the customers. So I understand you want to start doing business development in the Philippines, and you might first get a foothold there. But how do you plan to get people to get your app in the first place?
Okay.
Aside from the, okay, I want my name on your service, but well, at the beginning it's not really changing my life very much.
First, it has to be really useful to the people, like, and they only identify the usefulness of it they really identify the usefulness of it when they get to use it in the sense that they have somebody they want to call that is not their contact information, like pizza place. Now, then that's why we are planning to build it, like put the list all the businesses in the system under the free model, just list them ourselves under their name since they own it, and then just notify them about it. So it will be useful for the users.
But does it do contact backup, for example?
Yes, it does.
So, I mean, if I change phone, I can get your app on another phone and get all my contacts back?
Yes, yes. Our main vision actually is to make connecting simple and easy, and we want to liberate the data on your device, so not relying on your phone book anymore, but just SpellDIal in your brain. You can remember names. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Keep it going. 9 down, 2 more to go. You guys feeling good?